Welcome to Speak Peak English. Today, we are going to practice listening and speaking skills with the story The Mysterious Midnight Visitor. Get ready for some suspenseful fun and listen carefully. The Mysterious Midnight Visitor. It was a chilly evening in October, and the Robinson family had just settled down for the night. The house was silent, except for the occasional creak of the floorboards as the wind howled outside. Jessica, the youngest in the family, was already snuggled under her blankets, while her older brother, Max, played a game on his phone. Their parents, Mark and Emily, were downstairs, sipping tea by the fireplace. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. Who could that be at this hour? Mark wondered aloud, exchanging a glance with Emily. Mark stood up and approached the door cautiously. As he opened it, a rush of cold air swept into the house, but no one was there. Just as he was about to close the door, he noticed something odd, a small, worn-out envelope lying on the doorstep. The envelope had no name, no address, just a strange, waxy seal on the back. He picked it up and brought it inside. "What is it?" Emily asked, looking curiously at the envelope. "I don't know," Mark replied, "but something about it feels strange." They carefully opened the envelope, revealing an old, crinkled piece of paper. The message was written in shaky handwriting: "Don't look under the stairs at midnight." A chill ran down Mark and Emily's spines. They had no idea who sent the note or what it meant, but it was eerie. As the night progressed, the family couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling the message had left behind. Midnight was approaching, and Max, being the curious one, couldn't resist. He tiptoed down the stairs to the dark hallway where the small closet under the staircase was located. "I have to see what's in there," Max whispered to himself, his heart racing with both excitement and fear. Just as the clock struck midnight, Max slowly turned the knob and opened the closet door. He squinted into the darkness, expecting something terrifying. But instead, a little cat popped out, meowing loudly. Max jumped back, startled, but then he couldn't help but laugh. The cat, with a small bow around its neck, looked up at him with innocent eyes. Attached to the bow was a tag that read, "Welcome to your new home, Whiskers." Max grinned and scooped up the cat. The mysterious visitor had been nothing more than a surprise addition to the family. The next morning, Jessica squealed with joy when she saw Whiskers, and the whole family gathered around, laughing about the eerie note that had led to such a sweet surprise. "But wait," Emily said, her smile fading slightly. "Who left that note? And where did Whiskers come from?" Just as she finished speaking, there was another knock at the door. This time it was their neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, standing with a big grin. "I see you found my little surprise," she said, pointing at Whiskers. "I've been taking care of this stray cat for weeks, but I knew how much your kids wanted a pet. So, I thought it was time Whiskers found a proper home." Mark raised an eyebrow. "But the note? The midnight part?" Mrs. Jenkins chuckled. "Oh, that was my husband's idea. He thought it would be fun to add a little mystery to the gift. He's always been one for spooky pranks. I'm surprised he didn't dress up as a ghost." The family burst into laughter, realizing that their mysterious visitor was all part of their neighbor's quirky plan to give them a new furry friend. Sometimes, even the strangest mysteries have the warmest endings. Now, let's practice English listening and speaking skills with a repeat after me session from the story, The Mysterious Midnight Visitor. Are you ready? Let's begin. The Mysterious Midnight Visitor. It was a chilly evening in October, and the Robinson family had just settled down for the night. The house was silent, except for the occasional creak of the floorboards as the wind howled outside. Jessica, the youngest in the family, was already snuggled under her blankets, while her older brother, Max, played a game on his phone. Their parents, Mark and Emily, were downstairs, sipping tea by the fireplace. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. Who could that be at this hour? Mark wondered aloud, exchanging a glance with Emily. Mark stood up and approached the door cautiously. As he opened it, a rush of cold air swept into the house, but no one was there. Just as he was about to close the door, he noticed something odd. A small, worn-out envelope lying on the doorstep. The envelope had no name, no address, just a strange, waxy seal on the back. He picked it up and brought it inside. "What is it?" Emily asked, looking curiously at the envelope. "I don't know," Mark replied, "but something about it feels strange." They carefully opened the envelope, revealing an old, crinkled piece of paper. The message was written in shaky handwriting. "Don't look under the stairs at midnight." A chill ran down Mark and Emily's spines. They had no idea who sent the note or what it meant, but it was eerie. As the night progressed, the family couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling the message had left behind. Midnight was approaching, and Max, being the curious one, couldn't resist. He tiptoed down the stairs to the dark hallway where the small closet under the staircase was located. "I have to see what's in there," Max whispered to himself, his heart racing with both excitement and fear. Just as the clock struck midnight, Max slowly turned the knob and opened the closet door. He squinted into the darkness, expecting something terrifying. But instead, a little cat popped out, meowing loudly. Max jumped back, startled, but then he couldn't help but laugh. The cat, with a small bow around its neck, looked up at him with innocent eyes. Attached to the bow was a tag that read, "Welcome to your new home, Whiskers." Max grinned and scooped up the cat. The mysterious visitor had been nothing more than a surprise addition to the family. The next morning, Jessica squealed with joy when she saw Whiskers, and the whole family gathered around, laughing about the eerie note that had led to such a sweet surprise. "But wait," Emily said, her smile fading slightly. "Who left that note?" And where did Whiskers come from? Just as she finished speaking, there was another knock at the door. This time it was their neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, standing with a big grin. "I see you found my little surprise," she said, pointing at Whiskers. "I've been taking care of this stray cat for weeks, but I knew how much your kids wanted a pet. So, I thought it was time Whiskers found a proper home." Mark raised an eyebrow. But the note? The midnight part? Mrs. Jenkins chuckled. "Oh, that was my husband's idea." He thought it would be fun to add a little mystery to the gift. He's always been one for spooky pranks. I'm surprised he didn't dress up as a ghost. The family burst into laughter, realizing that their mysterious visitor was all part of their neighbor's quirky plan to give them a new furry friend. Sometimes, even the strangest mysteries have the warmest endings. Great job today. You've done amazing practicing your English listening and speaking skills with the story, The Mysterious Midnight Visitor. Keep practicing every day, and you'll continue to improve. Don't forget to come back to Speak Peak English for more fun lessons. See you next time.